Welcome to Golf Talk with Tiff. Yes, that's me, Tiff, the lady golf teacher. What I will do here is build belief in you to accomplish your dreams for your golf. I'll be your mentor and give you the skills, strategies, and guidance to make it happen. Tee it high, let it fly. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey there, Tiff here. Welcome to another episode of Golf Talk with Tiff. So today I'm going to give you something to work on so you can have a better understanding of your golf game. As you know, this is what I'm always doing. I'm showing you how you can play better golf, understand your golf better so that you're playing consistent golf. So you may have heard me talk about an episode that I did previously about how to play better golf in a podcast episode. And we looked at the 4 major areas in your game. Well, what I want to do here is we want to have a look at your golf performance in a different way. So what I do with clients who are really focused on reducing their handicap, so this is what we were talking about today is on how to reduce your handicap, is I get them to track their golf game. I will tell you what we need to do to track shortly. But what I want to do here right now is I'll share with you why we want to track what's going on. You see, when we track what's going on in your game, then we can get some data on your game. And most golfers judge their golf game by how many stable points that they've had throughout the round. So if they've had, 36 points or 40 points, they feel like they've had a really awesome day and the golf feels awesome and they feel awesome and everything's wonderful and life is great and it's just so magical. And then if they've had a round where they've had less than 30 stable points, then they feel like they're pretty ordinary, the golf's bad, they're so hopeless, it's just shaking their heads, just not good today. And then they judge their golf on their Stableford scores. And let me tell you, I hear it from golfers all the time, all this stuff. They judge themselves by their Stableford score. But what we have to do is we have to look golf in a different way. So your Stableford score or your comp score, whether you're playing par or you're playing stroke, a lot of it's Stableford these days, just tells you on how you've performed on the day. It doesn't dictate the type of golfer you are. I might repeat that again. Your Stableford score or your comp score that you've had on that day just tells you how you've performed on that day. It doesn't dictate the type of golfer you are. So it doesn't matter how you've gone on the day, okay? It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, you're a beginner, you're an intermediate, you're advanced, whatever you call yourself as a golfer, it doesn't dictate the type of golfer that you are, especially when you've had a bad score. Okay, when you've had a good score, you're like, yeah, I'm awesome, right? But what we always look at is when we had a bad score, then our confidence level drops, then we change our opinions of ourselves and all that. Now, all of that is then dictated by what's going on in your head anyway, okay? And then you're using golf to justify whether you're good enough or not, right? So people judge themselves by the amount of Stableford points that they have and what their handicap is. So let's take the judgment out and let's work on understanding how and where you can be the golfer you want to be. So the consistent golfer that you want to be. All right. Most people do want to be that. People come to me and I say, well, what do you want me to help you with? Tiff, I want to be consistent. Okay. So let's look at how you can perform on the course better. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the numbers, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to look at the numbers. That's also going to give us feedback that's going to give us a good score or what's holding us back from getting a good score, okay? So the numbers we're going to look at will give us the data that we need, and then we can really identify what then needs the most attention. And that can make the difference. That can make the difference. So when I'm doing, and I'm going to share something with you really quickly before we move on to what we're going to do, but when I teach people to putt and I show them a putting strategy, and if they apply that putting strategy, they can actually get their putts down really quick. Now, if you're getting 3 and 4 putts on a hole, and you're using this putting strategy that I show you, you can quite easily knock a shot off on every hole. Now, imagine having one less shot on each hole. So if you played 9 holes, there's 9 shots. If you played 18, there's 18 shots. That's massive. But if you didn't apply that strategy and just went off and did your thing and you still struggled, then the alarm bells are going off as saying do something about it, okay? But you don't know it until you see the data, okay? So I do suggest that you do this a few times out on the course when you get to play. Don't just track the numbers once, okay? So what I'm going to give you that I want you to track it at least 4 times, which means 4 rounds, and then you'll actually see a pattern that'll come up of what you're doing well and also what's holding you back. So with that information that then you acquire, then you can work on a plan to improve your golf, and then you can go back and you can work on how to play better golf podcast. You could go back and have a look at the how to overcome inconsistency podcast as well, about putting plans together and so on, okay? So with that information that then you've acquired, right, the data, then you can work on a plan to improve it. So the thing is what are you going to do? Are you going to do it? Are you going to say, yes, Tiff, I'm going to do it? I know you're walking around listening to me right now, or driving around in the car listening to me. Yes, Tiff, I'm going to do this because I want to improve my golf. I want to get my handicap down, and I want to be the golfer I want to be. Great. I love that answer. That sounds so great. So what should you track? And I'm going to keep it really, really simple for you. I do modify these for particular people, make it more personalized for them. But what we're going to do with you today is we're going to do some simple things that you can track so you can understand. So number 1, so you want to track your tee shots on the fairway. So you want to know how many tee shots you're most likely going to use your driver anyway on most tee shots, but how many tee shots have finished on the fairway. It has to be on the fairway, okay? It doesn't matter if it hits the fairway and goes off the fairway. It's actually got to have stayed on the fairway, so you need to know that. Number 2, you need to know how many shots it takes you from tee to green. So that means taking your shot from the tee. So you count that one, your first tee shot, and then you count all the shots down until you land on the green. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you putt off the green and onto the green, that's still counted as a shot. You are actually not going to count the putts because we'll do that separately, but I want you to know exactly how many shots it takes you from tee until you land on the green. And the other one, number 3, is the putts. How many putts you're having on the green. So if you do that for 4 rounds, it will give you some information about your game. Won't it? Yes, it will. So there's some things then that you can actually look at and what you can then focus on and improve. So let's look at it in a bit more detail. Number 1, the tee shots on the fairway. So remember, they've got to finish on the fairway. So if you're getting somewhere between 0 and 10, we'll talk this around about 18 hole. If you're playing 18 holes, 9 holes, you just halve it. Okay. So if you're getting somewhere between 0 and 10 tee shots staying on the fairway, then that's an area to improve. So most likely it will be technique and also target practice. So you need to work on, aligning up to where you want to hit the ball to. So you want to get that right, and also technique. So if you're getting then over 11 tee shots that finish on the fairway, that's pretty good. So best place to sit is probably somewhere around the 14 mark. So if you're getting around about 14 tee shots staying on the fairway in a round of 18 holes, that's pretty good. So if it was 9 holes, you'd be looking around about 7. Okay. All right. Number 2, the shots from tee to green. So if you're finding that each hole is taking you 6 shots or more just to get on the green, then this is an area that needs work. So it then sounds like it will be a few things here. Your tee shots, so you may need to work on the technique in the target practice. Your fairway shots, so again, hitting clean, consistent shots, and your approach shots. So you want to make sure that you're hitting clean, consistent shots with your approach shots as well. That's like your pitching and chipping. So you want to make sure that you're getting accuracy and technique in place. So if you're getting 6 or more shots on each hole to get onto the green, then that's an area then that you need to be focusing on improving. If you're getting 4 or less, then that's pretty solid. So I would then suggest that you may find that it will be your approach shot that will need more attention. So if you want to get it down from, say, taking you 4 shots to get onto the green, you want to reduce it down to 3. Look at what you're doing for your approach shot into the green. Are you 50 meters out? Are you 100 meters out? Usually, what is it, and how can you improve that shot so that it's 1 shot less? Because that's where you'll find the difference. Then number 3. So I find with putts, and this is the putting area, number 3, is that's the easiest area to take shots off, which you've heard me talk about. So what you want to look at is how many rounds are you scoring? How many putts are you scoring in your putting round? And then, so once you know what that is, then you can look at these standards. So the standard is about 36 putts per 18 holes, which means it's about 2 putts per hole. Ideally, you want to be getting somewhere around 30 putts in an 18-hole round. So if you look at the pros, they're around about 26, 27 on average. So nothing saying you can't do that either, by the way. It's my simple stroke in the book. So if you were getting 40 putts around, aim to get 36. If you're getting 36, aim to get about 32. When you get it down to about 32, aim at 30. When you get to 30, just seeing if you can knock it down a little bit more. Again, it's tracking. So if you end up looking at your results and then you have a bad, under 30 Stableford points, you'll see that you probably haven't hit many fairways with your tee shot. You'll find that it's taken many shots to get from tee to green, and you'll find that you've had too many putts. But if you're playing well, you'll probably notice that your tee shots are staying on the fairway more often, so you'll have a higher number. You'll find that your tee shots, your shots from tee to green will probably be less, and then you'll also notice your putts will probably be less. And then you'll notice that, that's why I've got a good score, right? It's in the data. The numbers will show you. So if we then look at the putts, so going back to the putts, I can get distracted quite easily. So let's go back to the putts. So the putts are the most simple stroke in the book. So you can do anything that a pro can do, right? Just putting in some time into getting it right. So the major components of your putts, though, that you want to be aware of is reading the green. You want accuracy, so what you're aiming the ball at, and you also want to make sure you get the length of the putts right. Your 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 7 meter, 10 meter, whatever, right? You want to make sure you get all those right. So if you're in control of all of those areas, then your putts are consistent, okay? So I do, like I've said in a few episodes before, I do teach people how to get their putting right, whether you come on golf tours, love to see you on a golf tour, or you come to a clinic or a lesson and so on. I show you how to get that area right. So it's really a simple way to look at why your golf is working well, and also a way of looking at why your golf's not working so well. And then you can see then the feedback that you get from that data is then it will show you where your golf is at. And don't get depressed and go, oh my God, Tiff said I had to have 14 shots on the fairway and I'm only getting 2. Well, then that's an area to look at improving. And, Tiff said that, if I'm getting 6 or more shots on from tee to green, I'm so bad. No, that's an area to improve on, right? The putts, if you're getting 40 plus putts, that's really bad. Tiff said that's not so good. I've got to get 36. All it does is show you is things that you then need to get right, okay? You start getting those areas right, then the game starts working the way that you want it to. Too many people that come and learn how to play golf don't understand that, and then they just hope that someday, just by doing some practice, maybe have a lesson here or there, maybe doing, and I'm talking about a little bit of practice. A lot of people don't practice much, but then expect to be able to do it. Well, there's you got to put the time and effort into it. And I'm not saying it's hard work. You don't have to put hard work into it. It's quality work into it, right? So if you're looking at these areas that are holding you back, like I've just said, and track the data, right? Track what's going on in the shots, look at the data, then you're getting some answers. Then you know what to improve, okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard. If you have friends that you know that would benefit from these friends, so that we can build the lady golf teacher community as big as we possibly can. Love to see you on a golf tour, having lots of fun with these. I'd love to see you come. There's plenty happening this year, so I'd love to see you out there. But right now, I want you to dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. And then after you've done that, I want you to tee it high, let it fly. Wishing you an absolutely awesome day. Take care. Talk soon. Bye for now. Before you go, do you want consistency in your golf game? Focus will help you do just that. It is my lessons learned from sport and how to apply them to accomplish your golf dreams and goals. Get a copy of Focus today. Go to tiffany-mika.com to get your copy of Focus there. Dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Once you've done that, tee it high, let it fly.